mileage, we talked a few minutes ago about this fellow who wasn't keeping track of his appointments and got no mileage deduction even though he's a traveling salesman. So it's really important to keep at least an appointment calendar or something showing that where you're going and what you're doing. I like people turning in expense reimbursements to their company. Even if they're owner of the company, it's good if you turn in and say, look, I drove 2,000 miles for the company this year. Pay me the rate today is 55 cents a mile, so therefore you can get the 55 cents. And that works out real well. Certainly with employees, it's great if you have them turn in a reimbursement allowance and pay them that. It's fully tax deductible to you, non-taxable to them. So it's really good to try to use the expense reimbursements as much as possible. Fees. Okay, yeah, attorney. He said in a professional opinion his bill was not outrageous, and then he billed me for his opinion. So it's a matter that certainly if you need an attorney, you need to have an attorney. I went to small claims court one time, and I was suing somebody, and after it got over, I won part of it. They didn't give me all of it, and I couldn't figure out why. The judge said, if you hadn't had an attorney, you could have got it all. I'm like, dang. So here I'm suing somebody for $500, and if I pay $1,000 to an attorney, I could have got the whole $500 rather than just $250. Yeah, let's figure out what's going on with that. So, but attorneys know the rules of the road, just like generally most accountants understand how IRS works. How they, of course, I was there and I was an instructor. I understand how they think, which is kind of a mind-boggling thing sometimes. But most of them are there to do a job. They're not really there to get you. And if you make their job easier, they like you better and treat you better. And if you make their job hard, then they'll make your life miserable. So it's a matter of, what can you do to bond with them and see your standpoint. We had a client not long ago, which surprised me. She called up and talked them out of $2,000 or $3,000 in penalties just because they liked the way she talked or something. She was able to bond with them, and they forgave her penalties, which is kind of unusual. But still, you can certainly deduct the fees you pay consultants, CPAs, attorneys, and you want to make sure that you're claiming full benefit of that. Meals and lodging, we talked about this somewhat. In order to claim any deduction for any entertainment activity, you're required to have 5 things. Who you entertained, why you entertained them, where you were, when it was, and basically what the relationship is. So if you take me to a ball game and we talk about taxes, well, then we know all 5 things, who, what, where, when, why. We know those things, so we're able to claim that. But it's a matter, again, of having that record. So I put most everything on my American Express and track it, and on my calendar I have who I'm with, so I'm able to track it all. If you pay cash for something and don't have the receipt, then you're not able to prove, where you were and how much you spent, so you're going to not be able to claim the deduction. So it's important to try to, again, track all this stuff as much as possible so you're not losing any deductions as you go along. The cell phone, they're proposing a new law on this now. Again, this comes down to the 50% use test, which is kind of funny. If they come and audit you, they can look at your cell phone records and see who you're calling, and if you don't use at least 50% for business, they're not going to allow you the cell phone. Now, I rarely see them do it because it's just such a small number on the tax return. But they can do that, and that's what the current law says. Again, they're proposing a new, I don't know what the name of that law is. It's probably Cell Phone Simplification and Improvement Act. But they're proposing a new law to try to simplify that, saying everyone can have a basic cell phone, because that's kind of where we're going today. But that law hasn't been passed yet.